All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. So the Chicago Bears continue to make moves specifically on the defensive side of things. Courtney Cronin confirmed that former Packers and Texans safety Jonathan Owens is headed to Chicago on a 2-year deal per source. The Chicago Bears add another safety to the mix with Jaquan Brisker and new addition Kevin Byard, further fortifying the secondary in free agency. Guys, this is all. So Jonathan Owens, this is going to be one of those under the radar signings all offseason. Maybe not so with my Chicago Bears fans watching this video right now, but this is one of those moves, especially later on in the season when players start dealing with some injuries, where they start being cautious. Knees are tweaking, knees are buckling. You get the point here. It just gets cold in Chicago. Jonathan Owens is a perfect platoon secondary safety for this Chicago Bears roster. He was extremely underrated on the Green Bay Packers this past season. He had started in only 11 games, but he played all 17. He had 3 total pass deflections. He had a fumble recovery for a touchdown. He had 84 total tackles. And then in the season prior to last year with Green Bay, his final season with the Houston Texans, where he finally got an opportunity to stay on the field, he was moved from defensive back to free safety. He played and started in all 17 games. He had 125 total tackles. He had a sack. He had 4 pass deflections. But the dude can play. He's a smart player. A lot of people mention him, Simone Biles, his husband. Not a huge fan of that. But anyways, Jonathan Owens is a perfect platoon player for the Chicago Bears secondary on the defensive side of things. Last year, opponents' points per game, the Chicago Bears ranked 20th in the NFL, but they ranked 21st in the league in opponents' passing yards per game. Jaquan Brisker, very, very bright future. We saw that the Bears re-signed Jalen Johnson, and then we saw a couple of days ago that they picked up Kevin Byard from the Philadelphia Eagles. It's all coming together. I know the looming question right now revolves around Justin Fields, but before we get into anything, if you guys enjoy this video and you like daily Bears content, you've come to the right place. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. Let's try and get this video to 250 likes. So free agency's here, man. The Chicago Bears have made a couple of moves like this. Saw Gerald Everett get picked up earlier today. Just more depth players, more role players. And, I get it. Like, it can look a little bit underwhelming. People, we're still waiting on a Justin Fields decision. Doesn't seem like there's much of a starting role out there for him. Maybe the Raiders pick him up, but I think teams would still be down to trade for him to come off of their bench. But I know a lot of most Chicago Bears fans who watch these videos are pretty all in on Justin Fields coming back next season. Regardless, Matt Eberflus had this defense playing very well in the second half of the season, especially or pretty much when Montez Sweat was acquired at the trade deadline. But guys, they're super young, and everyone's always talking about, getting in a generational haul for pick number 1, blah, blah, blah. And the reasoning, the logic behind that is because of players like Jonathan Owens and like Kevin Byard. You have to continue to fill out the roster, whether it's starting players, whether it's, star players, whether it's platoon players, whether it's camp bodies, doesn't matter. The Chicago Bears went from 3 wins to 7 wins last season. And I think as we saw, as you usually do in the course of an NFL 17-game regular season, players start getting hurt. Players start missing games. Players aren't playing at 100% by the end of the season. And that's where you see these Jonathan Owens players really come into their own form and start making plays. So I really like this move. I think it's perfect. I think it's a great depth piece for the Chicago Bears squad. And if, God forbid, if somebody were to go down with an injury, I think you'd feel pretty comfortable with Jonathan Owens filling it out for a little bit. So that's it for me. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily Chicago Bears content. But most importantly, let me know your thoughts on this move.